Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tubers? Cesario from the barrio. Coming back at you with another video for your butt. And, man, I had the day off of work today, and probably tomorrow because it's raining in California. And I work outdoors, so there's not much I can do in the rain. But I've been home all morning sorting cards, putting them in order. Has been pretty busy. So decided to take a quick break and do a card video, a hobby video, and decided I'm gonna talk real quick about some of the my stance on selling cards. I guess I don't know what to call it. And yeah, all good, man. Everybody hobby's different, and me, when I say I don't sell cards or I haven't sold cards and stuff like that, it's not a badge of honor. It's just an observation, basically. It doesn't make me better than you or anything like that, man. I'm actually below most YouTubers. Um, but so I was gonna show you a couple of cards that I almost sold and why, and why I didn't. And I guess after. But have I ever sold cards? Yes, I did, and let me explain that. Or just detail that the circumstances under me selling a couple of cards before. We had a YouTuber friend that passed away, and his friend needed help with the funeral expenses. So another YouTuber asked for people. Like, he was going to sell cards, have an auction to raise a certain goal to help pay for the funeral expenses. So he had his auction, and he didn't meet the goal that we needed to meet to pay for the funeral, or his however it was working. So it was only a few days to the funeral, so I didn't have enough time to send him the card so he could try to sell them again to meet the goal. So I just sold them on my channel. I just got a few more cards, and I auctioned them off, I guess, or something like that on my channel. I remember I was on a live. And once we met that goal, and told everybody to send the money to my friend that was, putting it together. So I don't, don't give me too much credit for that because it wasn't even my idea. But yeah, so that time I did sell a couple of cards, but I kept none of that. I told everybody to pay the money to them. So I mean, I have sold some cards, so I can't say I never have, but I can say I never sold any cards for profit, I guess. Who cares? But then, one time, let me tell you about another card that I almost sold physically, or thought about selling physically. 2019 National for the baseball card. I wasn't expecting to go. To me, it just seemed impossible to raise the money for me to pay for a plane, pay for a hotel, and have spending money. It just wasn't really in my cards. I don't make that much money. That that I don't have that extra kind of cash. But one of my YouTuber friends was hosting a contest where he was paying, for the national experience. So, unfortunately, I did not win. I did not win that contest. But fortunately for me, the guy who did win that contest said he had just started a new job and he would not be able to get time off to go to the national. So he told the person hosting the contest to just give the prize to me. So I ended up winning the prize to go to the national. So that's how I obtained my plane flight and staying accommodations at the national. Otherwise, I never would have been able to go. And so next, I was like, well, I need to save up money at least, to have to spend. And man, I saved up for a couple months whenever the national was, and sold a couple other things that I had. So I remember I sold some weights, and I sold a couple of things to raise enough money for me to have spending money when I get over there. and I got like a little bit over $500, like $500 worth, right? But then what happened is he put the tickets and hotel room under the name Caesar Carbajal, which is my name, but the discretion is there is that that's not my first name. Caesar is my middle name, not much like dangerous, danger. But so I had to change the name on the airplane ticket, and if you guys aren't familiar with this process, it was like over 200, almost 300, whatever it was, 255, just to change the name on my ticket, because it has to be what's on your driver's license, exactly how it is on your driver's license. So more than half of my $500 that I had saved had to go to changing my name on the ticket. So I had to pay like whatever, almost $300 to change the name on the ticket. So that left me with just over $200 spending money, and I knew that wasn't enough. All right, because it's not you're not those $200 weren't just for buying cards. I mean, those $200 had to go for food, beer, food, beer every day. So I knew it was nowhere near enough. So I was kind of worried, and I was almost like telling my friend that hosted the contest that I won the stuff from, was like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to go because I don't have enough money, to spend. And he told me, hey, well, so-and-so at the show said he just told me he wants to buy a 1954 Bowman Mickey Mantle in a 4, and he's willing to pay like $800. And so I was like, really? I was like, okay, I'll do that. That's the only way I'll be able to go. And I don't want to waste your time for doing all this for me already, and the tickets under my name in the room. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. When I get there, I'll hit him up, see if he wants to buy my card. That's exactly what he was looking for, and he was going to spend $800. And so I took my 54 Bowman to sell it. It's graded a 4, to sell it so I could have money to survive, eat, and spend at the National. But what happened in the end, like on Thursday, I got paid. I was there like Wednesday through Saturday or something like that. And on Thursday I got paid, but most of that is my rent money, my mortgage payment. So what I ended up doing is like, man, I sat in my hotel room the first night, and I was just like looking into Mickey's eyes. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to use some of my mortgage money, my rent money, the rest of the time I'm here. So by the end of the show, I probably spent like $500, like an extra $300, just to get by. So was that a problem, me spending the $300 on my mortgage money? I mean, you could say yes or no, but didn't come without a plan or a thought behind it. I just couldn't get rid of my Mickey Mantle. So I just decided, okay, when I get home, first day when I got home, I went to the bank the next day and I got a $500 loan. And with that $500 loan, I just covered the $300 that I spent, paid my mortgage no problem, put those $200 back into my payment payment plan, and and paid off that loan in a couple months. So glad I didn't sell my card, but I came this close to doing it. But in the end, I didn't sell it. No problems with me. I'm just taking out that loan. All right. So, but that's why I almost sold this one, but I didn't. All right. So the second card that I almost sold was my 1953. Where is it? You like that? You like that? Huh? Yeah. I just wanted to show off my Otani shirt that I bought yesterday at the thrift store. $5 make you holla. Sweet. All right, so my 53 Topps Mickey Mantle. And just FYI, I had bought this card with one of my playoff bonuses from Dodger Stadium, and I remember it was like $200 or just under $200. So when that guy told me it was going for 800, I was like, wow, I'm gonna, I'm not losing out on that. I'm not losing any money if I do that. So I was thinking in my head, like, I don't know why that first thought goes into your head. The way you process it is like, oh well, I'll sell that one for $800 and I'll go buy another one for $200. So that's not the way it worked. The price went up. When I bought that card, it was valued at $200, but by 2019 it was valued like at 800, 900. All right, so the 53 Topps, and why I almost sold this one. Well, about a year and a half ago, I think it was probably, my car broke down. You know, and me, I don't. This is one thing about me. I don't have a credit card. You know what I mean? I didn't have a backup plan for my car. Just took a shit like this overnight. Lost compression. Just bam, took a shit. All right, so I had no car basically, and I had to get to work somehow. So I was telling my wife, because this was like kind of during the boom. I was like, well, I'm gonna have to. My plan was I told her, well, this card right here, I bought this for $800. Like I think 2017 or 2018. I had bought this for $800. And when I was telling somebody about my car problem, he told me, hey, well, why don't you sell your 53 Mickey Mantle? I said, well, I go, it's like $800. I go, that's not much. I go, I need to buy a car cash. I don't want to buy an $800 car. I'd rather at least shoot for a $2,000 car somewhere. And he's like, whoa, well, that car's going for like $6,000. And I was like, what? I don't check prices on eBay. I don't check prices on my cards. I never know. Most of the times, I find out through YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, people will tell me how much my cards are worth, and I really don't want to know. I don't think people understand that. It's like, I don't want to know what my cards are worth. To you guys. I just care about what it's worth for me, to me. And so anyways, I told her I'm gonna sell this card for $5,000. I told her my friend says that these cards are selling for $6,000. So if I want to sell it faster, I'm gonna put it up for $5,000. I told her, and I'll take like $4,500 if somebody offers me. And then because I needed a car, and she understood that, she's like, yeah. She told me, she's like, there's got to be another way. She's like, why don't you hold off? She's like, because because I remember telling her about this card before and about that, how if I sold it for $800, I go, I'm not gonna buy another one for $200 like I'm thinking. She said, well, remember what you told me about your last card? She said, if you sell this card, you're never gonna get it again. I'll never own this card again. Is what she told me. And I was like, yeah, I'm there. This is one of the things I was learning, like during this phase. I was learning about like Mangini. When I first started seeing Mangini would try to explain in his videos back then how I was like, this might be a $5,000 card, but I bought it 20, 30 years ago when it wasn't that much. You know what I mean? And realized I was kind of going into the same situation, where my cars are just worth so much more than what I paid for them. You know what I mean? So someone might think, oh, he's got a $5,000 card. Like, oh, I bought this for $800 on layaway, and I got it with the World Series bonus from when the Dodgers played in the World Series versus the Red Sox. I used my World Series bonus to put half of this down. And then I got lucky with the other half to be able to take it out from another lump of money that just fell on my lap. But anyways, so she told me to think about it for another day, because, I just took a couple of days off work without telling her what my situation was, hoping I'd be able to get another car in those couple of days. So my wife told my daughter, She's all like, yeah, your dad's gonna sell one of his cars because his car broke. His car took a shit. My car broke down. So my she tells my daughter. You know what I mean? She told my daughter what happened. My daughter tells tells her, he's like, and then she comes tells me, she's like, I got $5,000 in the bank. And I'm all like, what? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I saved all my stimulus checks because I didn't need them. So I still have all my stimulus checks in my bank on the savings. I've never touched them. I have over $5,000. So she said, I'll lend you the money to buy a car. And I was like, she didn't want me to sell my card. You know what I mean? She didn't want me to sell my car, so she told me she'll lend me the money. And she's like, maybe you don't even have to pay me back. And I was like, well, I gotta pay you back. But so, anyways, she lent me the money, and I think I ended up borrowing $3,000 to put my down payment on my car. And so when I got it out, well, like 2 days later, after I got my car, we got another stimulus check. I think the first Joe Biden stimulus check. So between me and my wife, we got $2,000, in stimulus money. So I gave that right away to my daughter. And then the next day, a recycling place came to my house and they bought my car that was broken down for $1,000. So with that $1,000, and within 3 days, I paid my daughter back her $3,000. And so I ended up getting my down payment for my car just out of nowhere, almost basically for free, I guess, because the $2,000 came from my stimulus check, and then $1,000 for my car. Yeah, my car had no dents. The body was fine. It had everything. It was complete. The engine just lost compression because I was pushing 400,000 miles on that car. All right, I had close to 400,000 miles in that car. So I think like my heads just gave out and compression gave out, and I didn't have the money to fix that. To get a new head gasket, and all that stuff. So that's the story. Holy moly, it's at 17 minutes. Wow, that's really long. I didn't think I was going to take that long at all. But that's the story of how I almost sold my cards, a couple cards, and faith just coming in and not letting me sell them. It's not faith. So, or is it? Hmm? Hmm? But anyways, I'm drunk and high and enjoying myself on my day off, and just thought I'd make this video. Didn't think it was going to take that long, but if anybody watched this to the end, thank you for watching. Like my Wally Joyner autograph hat. Wow, that was long. Gossip video, but at least I showed some cards, so it's not a totally gossip video. But love the hobby, and just keep collecting baseball cards forever, I say. Ciao! Dookie 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 dookie. Dookie 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 da. Dookie dookie dookie. Dookie 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 da.